Good afternoon from San Diego, California. Currently 21:50 Zulu time, which is 14:50 here in San Diego. We are going to be doing a southwest route today, and I'm actually going to take the airplane on a relatively short flight over to Tucson. A couple of days ago, Field Air released a new version of, probably the first version of Tucson Airport for Flight Sim 2020. So I want to check it out. And this version of San Diego is the Latin VFR version. I know also in the last week or so, AMSIM and BM released their own version of San Diego. So I've had this version of San Diego a couple of years. I really like it. I'm well aware the airport is going to be undergoing some significant remodeling and expansions. So in the meantime, I plan to stick to this version. I find it to be very scenic, very well designed. I'm a very loyal customer of Ricardo, who runs Latin VFR. I think I've had all these airports that handle 737, so I'm definitely very happy with the product. Okay, so as you can see, the traffic that's ahead of me, they're taking up to the west, and we're also going to be taking up to the west. And I'll give you a quick overview of the flight plan here. Okay, so we'll pull up the flight plan on Navigraph here. So you can see it's going to be Zulu Zulu Oscar 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 3 departure. So westerly departure followed by a U-turn essentially. That's gonna have us transitioning at Imperial in Southern California. We'll maintain an easterly to northeasterly track before taking a east-southeast track over to Tucson, pretty much directly inbound into runway 11 left. Okay, so that's the game plan, the flight plan. So we'll get going here with our flows before pushback. Pre-flight checklist, oxygen tested 100%. Navigation transfer and display switches are normal auto. Window heat is on. Pressurization mode selector is set to auto. Tucson's altitude is 2693 feet. Our initial heading will be 275. Current altimeter 30.00. Gonna go ahead and set the parking brake and switch to APU generators prior to disconnecting from ground. And the engine start levers are cut off, so pre-flight checklist complete. Let's get our jetway removed here from the aircraft
Lindbergh ground Southwest 737, could you please disconnect the jetway from the aircraft?
Okay, jetway removed. Before start, flight deck door closed and locked. Fuel pumps are on. Passenger signs are on. Windows are locked. On the MCP, V2 is 138. Heading is 275. Our final cruise is 390. And there are no altitude restrictions on the way out. CDU pre-flight is completed. Rudder and aileron trim is free and zero. Taxi and takeoff briefing is completed. And the anti-collision light is on. Before start, checklist complete. Ready for pushback.
Cockpit to ground. Go ahead. We've been cleared for pushback and start. They want the tail to our left. Roger that. Ready to push. Tail to the left. Park brakes off. Brakes released. Brakes released. Here we go.
And starting number 2. Number 1.
Pushback complete.
Lindbergh ground Southwest 2417 taxi to the gate.
Brakes set.
Southwest 2417 taxi to gate 7 via taxiway.
Alright, steering pin is disconnected. Watch for the salute release from guide side or left. Have a good flight.
Taxiing to gate 7 via taxiway Southwest 2417.
Before taxi, generators on. Probe heat on. Anti-ice off. Isolation valve auto. Engine start switches. Continuous. Recall checked. Auto brake RTO. Engine start levers idle detent. Flight controls. Checked and ground equipment clear. Before taxi checklist completed.
Lindbergh ground, Southwest 737 with Whiskey request taxi for takeoff departing straight out.
Southwest 737 taxi to and hold short of runway 27 using taxiway Bravo Bravo 1. Contact tower on 118.3 when ready.
Taxi to and hold short runway 27 via taxiway Bravo Bravo 1 Southwest 737.
Before takeoff checklist. Flaps 1 set. Stabilizer trim 6.66 units. Before takeoff checklist complete. San Diego also has to be one of my favorites in terms of the scenery surrounding the airport, and also making the approach like the plane over there is doing. It's also very, very scenic, whether you're a pilot or a passenger with a left hand, even right hand window seat. You're gonna see a lot.
Contact ground on 129.775.
I'm gonna use the terrain radar instead of the weather radar, and since we don't have a working weather radar, but we're also dealing with the U.S. Southwest this time of year, just beautiful, perfectly clear weather. So there is some terrain on the east side of San Diego, and there's also some terrain around Tucson, so we'll see what it looks like on the radar.
Lindbergh Tower Southwest 737 ready at runway 27 departing straight out.
Southwest 737, hold short runway 27. Traffic is on final.
Hold short runway 27 Southwest 737.
Lindbergh Tower Southwest 383.813 miles east inbound visual runway 27 approach. Southwest 3838 Lindbergh Tower. Altimeter 29.999er, wind 299er at 9er. Cleared visual runway 27 approach. Cleared visual runway 27 approach Southwest 3838. Southwest 2616 exit runway when able.
Cleared for takeoff runway 27 Southwest 737.
Southwest 2616.
Okay, takeoff. Stable. Thrust set. Check.
Southwest 12, follow the aircraft on final. Winds 29er at 9er. Clear to land runway 27.
Rotate.
Spirit wings 429er number 2 for landing. Follow the aircraft on final. Winds 29er
Gear up.
9er. Clear to land runway 27. Clear to land runway 27 Southwest 12. Clear to land runway 27 number 2, Spirit wings 429er. Southwest 737 leaving my airspace frequency change approved.
Lindbergh Tower Southwest 737 frequency change.
Flaps up. Command A. After takeoff checklist. Engine bleeds on. Packs auto, landing gear up and off. Flaps up, no lights after takeoff checklist complete. I started the autopilot a little early so we can just get some external views. It's a very scenic part of my country. Southern California and the US Southwest have a very high rate of sunny days per year compared to the rest of the country. Here on the coast, you can definitely get a lot of fog from the ocean, so that can result in lower visibility. But again, for most of the year, it's just clear blue skies like today, so this should be a very nice scenic ride all the way into Tucson. For those of you who have never been to San Diego, there's a couple of naval air stations surrounding the airport. There's also a major US Navy port, the actual port of San Diego, downtown San Diego, so again, a very, very scenic area. And we are climbing fast, so let's get those landing lights off. We're already past 10,000. And we should be on the ground in about 53 minutes, 340 nautical miles to go. Like I mentioned, we'll be topping off at flight level 390.
SoCal approach Alaska, tree 400 is at 5,500 feet, descending 2,800.
So as usual, I will take a little pause here on the recording, that is, and once we are on descent, we will resume the video itself. So I will see you then, and I'm just gonna leave a few more external views here before I pause. Okay, currently descending, about to pass 13,000 feet on our way into Tucson. No changes to the plan to land on runway 11 left. For the descent checklist, I've already checked the landing altitude for Tucson. Recoil has been checked. Auto brake set. Asking me for a little bit of spoilers, so we're gonna do that.
6,000 feet. Southwest 717 Albuquerque Center altimeter 29.907. Continue to TACAV as planned.
Our VREF will be 138 knots on flaps 30 to include the wind correction. And our minimums will be 200. Again, expecting a very perfectly clear approach here, and I plan to hand fly it.
Alaska 439er, contact Albuquerque Center on
And I already went over the approach briefing before and after the flight, so let's just get our altimeter here for approach. So altimeter, currently in Tucson.
Going to 134.45, Alaska 439er.
So we're looking at 30.03 inches.
Tucson approach on 119.4. Good day.
So approach checklist completed. Got our landing lights going on. Okay, they're already on.
119.4.
And let's slow down
Southwest 717.
below 9,000. We're 30 miles out at 9,300. Hopefully we slow down enough. I'm gonna keep the air brake out for a little longer. Still a bit fast, so let's see if we have other options. Speed management and descent management, always a challenge on the 737, and I definitely try to do a better job of it, but right now I'm definitely fast and high. Well, high more than anything else. So I'll continue to monitor this descent. I'm still getting a drag required warning, so let's see how well that works. So as I was saying, we're in the US Southwest, usually mostly sunny days throughout the year.
Tucson Tower Southwest 737 is 21 miles northwest 6,600 feet with kilo to land.
Southwest 737 Tucson Tower. Altimeter 29.908 wind calm, make straight in runway 11 left.
Make straight in runway 11 left Southwest 737.
Tucson Tower Southwest 7179 miles northwest inbound ILS runway 11 left approach. Southwest 717 Tucson Tower. Altimeter 29.908 wind calm, cleared ILS runway 11 left approach.
Caution, terrain. Caution, terrain.
Cleared ILS runway 11 left approach Southwest 717.
Okay, we managed to slow down enough and to lose enough altitude, so we should be able to line up pretty nicely with the approach. Gonna go to flaps 1. Still want some drag. Let's see. Okay, I'm gonna put the spoiler again. Okay, flaps 5. Okay, now I'm gonna close it.
Southwest 717 wind calm, cleared to land runway 11 left. Cleared to land runway 11 left Southwest 717.
So we have a Southwest ahead of us. So let me see if I can slow down even more just to avoid any go-around instructions. I ignore them anyways, considering the AI and ATC interface is still not anywhere too real. And we should be intercepting the glide slope pretty soon. Yep, glide slopes are live. I'm gonna drop the gear down to 160 here and go to flaps 10 and now flaps 15. Runway in sight. Landing checklist, engine start switches, continuous. Speed brake is armed, landing gear is down, and our final flaps will be 30. So we'll get our final speed here, 138. And manual flight, I have control. Flaps 30. Landing checklist complete. Crosswind from the left.
Southwest 737, follow the aircraft on the runway. Wind 29er 1 at 6. Clear to land runway 11 left.
Clear to land runway 11 left Southwest 737.
Southwest 717 exit runway when able. Southwest 717 contact ground on 120.025.
winds are calm now.
Sync rate. Sync rate.
100. 50. 30. 10.
Speed break up. Reverse green.
Ksan Tower Southwest 2361 at runway 11 right, ready for departure IFR to Las Vegas.
Manual brake.
2361 altimeter 30.02 wind tree 21 at 5. Cleared for takeoff runway 11 right. Cleared for takeoff runway 11 right southwest 2361. Southwest 737 turn next taxiway.
Okay to clean up.
Ksan Tower Southwest 225010 miles northwest inbound ILS runway 11 left approach. Southwest 737 contact ground on 120.025. Southwest 2250 Tucson Tower. Altimeter 30.02 wind tree 21 at 5. Cleared ILS runway 11 left approach.
120.025 Southwest 737. Tucson ground, Southwest 737 taxi to the gate.
Southwest 737 taxi to gate Bravo 1.
Taxiing to gate Bravo 1 Southwest 737.
Okay, I mentioned one of the reasons I wanted to do this flight today was to see the quality of the new airport that Field Air put out for here in Tucson. So let's see what the airport looks like. I'm gonna do some external views. So this implies that there's a lot of very old asphalt here on the taxiway. So probably gonna be resurfaced at some point if that's the case. Got the cargo area modeled, main terminal. I'll be honest, I've seen a lot of criticism of Field Air scenery products on the forums and the social media, and I know there's a lot of trolls out there too. But this looks like a pretty good product. It brings some life to the airport, a more realistic view of it. I've never been to Tucson personally. I've only been to Phoenix in Arizona, but it looks pretty nice. If you're wondering why there are two aircraft together, I have both statics and AI operating right now, so the AI ignores the static aircraft. And again, I want the airport to have a little bit of life, so I'm willing to overlook that stuff. Okay, brakes set, and we're gonna go ahead and shut down. APU generators on. It's a very warm day, it seems. Right now it is 36 degrees Celsius. Yep, we're definitely in the southwest US in October. It won't cool down here for another while compared to the rest of the country. Seatbelts off. We'll get some ground connections and our bridge also connected.
Tucson ground Southwest 737, could you please connect the jetway to the aircraft?
Southwest 737, the jetway is going to be connected.
When I was younger, so I want to date myself back to the mid-90s when I was in my mid-20s and would fly Southwest. And since Southwest inception in the early 70s, turnarounds for Southwest were 20 minutes, ground turnarounds. After some of the airline reorganization that took place, especially after 9/11, Southwest's turnarounds increased to about 30 minutes, 35 minutes, but still Southwest was incredibly efficient at getting an aircraft on the ground and off the ground as quickly as possible.
Southwest 2250 taxi to Gate Alpha for via taxiway Alpha 11 Alpha.
For those of you not very familiar with US aviation, Southwest was essentially the first low-cost carrier. Today they fit a model somewhere in between low cost and mainline because of the prices. But one thing that Southwest has been really consistent with has been a very positive attitude from the flight crews, pilots, flight attendants, ground personnel. Very friendly, very positive, humorous safety announcements. So it makes flying in an all economy configuration a little more pleasant, if you will. So okay, I'm only gonna do shutdown again because again we're flying Southwest, we're in the US, it's daytime, so this thing's gonna be off the ground again very soon. So fuel pumps are off except for the APU. Probe heat is off, hydraulics are set, flaps are up, and we have our ground connections. Our chocks should be set so I can take off my parking brake. Yep, so parking brake off. Levers are cut off and the weather radar was never even turned on, so weather radar is off and the shutdown checklist is complete. So welcome to Tucson. As always, thank you for watching. I'm gonna just have another external look here to check out the new airport by feel there. And if you're interested in buying the airport, you'll see it at most stores. Alrighty. Main menu.
Is it one of those things where are we assuming something that almost would be a defying human nature to expect something like that to happen? Well, I have your question.
So before you go,